you guys, thank you for watching this video. This is going to be another one of my wedding videos, so if you don't like watching wedding stuff, you can click out. But I have very exciting news. So we finally today, actually, which today is November 17th, my mom's birthday, we signed the contract for our venue. It's really exciting stuff. Really like cements the idea in my head that, you know, this is happening for real, because when you get engaged you're just like, like, oh my god, this is really happening, but you still kind of live in that like state of like surrealness. And then when you actually sign and deposit money to a venue that you both really love, you and your fiance, it's just kind of like cements it, like, this is happening, this is it, this is happening. So it's very, very exciting. And I kind of just want to talk to you guys about venues, what questions to ask when you go to your venue, and like the contract and all of that stuff. So because it's so fresh, you know, I just signed it like a few hours ago, so I just want to kind of talk to you guys about it. So I mentioned it in my last wedding video, but if you are planning your own wedding, or you know, you're going to see venues and you're interested in like what to get or like what to take with you, I really highly recommend this book right here. This is the Instant Wedding Planner, and it says get from will you to I do in record time, and it is by Jennifer L. Shawnee or Sean. This is what it looks like. It's really small. It like fits in your purse. It doesn't take up any bulk, and I have like written a lot of stuff. I also have little like post-its everywhere, and so I just have stickies because I'm a very big like note taker. Time of day, her thoughts, his thoughts, ceremony, etc. So in the second tab it says where/when, and it gives you a checklist, and it gives you like a lot of like what you need to do. So it says like, for example, like double up. Having a ceremony and reception in the same place means you only have to search for one great location instead of two. Make the call to find out whether the venue is appropriate before you take the time to tour the facilities. If the venue has a website, study it carefully first. Use lunch hours and slow commutes to make calls, etc., etc. I was actually making calls on my day off, but during my lunch breaks up until today, I was like looking at venues, like their websites. I was going on places like weddingwire.com. that they have a lot of great venues. You just put in your zip code and it gives you like a whole bunch of ideas and like venues around you, and it'll give you like the price tag. So it'll give you like, if it's a $3 sign, you know that it's like expensive. If it's like $2, it's moderate. If it's $1, it's like on the cheaper side. So I definitely recommend you going to weddingwire.com. Also The Knot, which probably everyone knows by now if you're like a bride or a bride to be. The Knot is very excellent in all the resources that they have. So, and also just like hearsay, like if any of your coworkers or friends or family members have gotten married recently, like ask them like, oh, where did you get married? Like I don't know if you're comfortable asking, but like, how much did you spend? I wouldn't ask that question, but you know, just ask them like, what's the range that you spent on the venue? Did you look at any other venues? Where did you look at those? Like, where were those venues? What's the name? Can I have them so you can look it up? Things like that. Especially if they didn't use that venue, then they should have no hesitation in giving it to you, you know. So this has a lot of great information to just tell you what you should ask. I literally brought this with me everywhere. I've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 venues was what I saw, and sorry, 4 venues is what I saw, and I picked from there because one of them just like really stood out to me, and it just like, I kept looking at the website, I kept thinking about like looking at all the pictures that I took and so on and so forth. So I don't want to make this video too long, so let me just go ahead and read you the questions that you should be thinking about when you're going in. First one, it says, what's the total fee for the facility? You want to ask whoever is giving you like a tour or whoever you're talking to the total fee. Like, don't say like, well, if you're gonna do this, it's that, like, what's the total fee for the venue, and if it's like an extra space or whatever that you also want, like, what are the fees for these 2 things, or what are the fees for this place? Like, you want to make it as black and white as possible. What does the fee include? So does it include, you know, an event manager, the elevators? Does it include I don't know, the drapes that are on top? Like, there's a lot of things that they'll show you in the tour, so you can be like, oh my god, that's so lovely, yes, and you're thinking like, oh, the chandeliers are there, those chandeliers are so pretty, but it might be like, oh yeah, you like those chandeliers, well, it's $1,000 extra. Like, you just need to make sure that you ask questions for everything, even if it seems stupid, like, oh, I see the windows here have like a shade, like, do they come with that or not? Like, ask the questions, because you will be surprised at how little they include and then how much extra you have to pay. So you might think like, I'm just gonna throw a figure out there. Let's say a location, can't talk. Let's say a location you really like is $3,000, right? And you're like, yes, $3,000, totally affordable, I can do that. But then when you go, they're like, yeah, the space raw is $3,000. If you want those drapes, that's going to cost $1,500 extra. You want those chandeliers, it's going to be $2,000. If you want the DJ to be set up with an illuminated bar, that's $4,000 extra. You want the illuminated dance floor, that's $10,000. Like, you don't know how much everything is until you go in and you ask. So that's definitely something that you need to ask. Like, what does the fee include? Number one question, or number two after, what's the total fee for the facility? What are the time limits? You want to make sure you know, like, okay, we have to be out of here by midnight, so we must clean up after. So you want to make sure, if you're going to pick that place, that you say in the invitations, like, by 11 o'clock, goodbye. What's the penalty for going overtime? Some places you do have to pay overtime. Like my place, if you go an hour overtime, it's $1,000. So you want to make sure you stick to what you signed. Who is responsible for cleaning up? You need to make sure. Some places they will clean up for you, some places you need the caterers to do it, some places you might be responsible for doing it. Like, it all depends. How many parking spaces are there, and is it free? Definitely must ask, because you don't, like, people will drive in and you want to make sure that they are fine. How many restrooms are there? This is very important. One of the places we were looking at was a carousel place. It sounds a little weird, but it's so beautiful, and I like that it was kind of non-traditional. But the number one hesitation that I had, and the number one thing that actually stopped me in the end from even going to tour the place, was that they had no bathrooms at all. So you had to either go to like businesses down the street, or you had to rent like bathrooms, and I was like, I really don't want porta potties in my wedding. Like, kind of don't want that right now. So I didn't even go tour it, because if there's no bathrooms there, I'm gonna have 140 people in my wedding. We need bathrooms. So want to make sure that there are restrooms and that they're located nearby, especially if they can be located near the bar, because you know people will tend to gravitate towards that, and they're gonna have to pee all the beer out. What is the cancellation policy? This is very important. One thing that I will mention is, it's so interesting to see different venues cancellation policy, because the very first one that me and my fiance went to, their cancellation policy was awesome. It was actually I think you can give them, I have it right here, 30 days, so you can tell them completely, like, you don't want to do it there anymore, you don't want to have the wedding is off, whatever it may be, and they will give you your full refund back. My phone's going off. The place that we actually chose, their cancellation is 30 days as well, but they only give you 50%, so they don't give you your deposit back. So that's very interesting and something that you should ask. And then, are tables, chairs, dance floor, linens, and tableware included? This is very important, because some places will you'll have to rent tables and chairs, or you'll have to rent like a dance floor. Some places don't include tableware, so you have to make sure your caterer does that. These are very important questions to ask. Are there extra charges for rehearsal time? We're not going to do a rehearsal dinner, so we don't really need to ask that. But if you are interested in doing a rehearsal dinner, then you need to know, like, if you're going to rehearse before, will they charge you extra? Will there be simultaneous events elsewhere in the facility? You want to know that, because if there's like 5 different weddings going on in the building, like, your guests can get mixed up, and they can be like, oh, misdirected sometimes, or they can even just follow the flow, like, oh, these people look like they're going to a wedding, let me follow them, and then they're in like wedding A when your wedding is wedding C over here. So yeah, you want to make sure you ask. Are we required to use a specific caterer? What I found is places that require you to use their caterers are normally a lot more expensive. That's just, and also this is New York City, so I don't know, elsewhere it might be cheaper or it might be different, but here in New York City, if a place requires you to use their caterer, it's because you're going to be coughing up a lot of money. Are we allowed to supply our own alcohol? That's actually, normally if they're a wedding venue, you can, or well, sometimes they require you to use their bartender or their bar services, so yeah, you need to ask that. Is valet service valet service available. Don't know why I just tripped on that. If outdoors, is an indoor option available in case of poor weather? Will a staff member be on hand to assist during the wedding? Can the facilities accommodate the elderly and disabled? What about children? Are package deals available? Are hotel rooms available there or nearby the place? This is important if you have a lot of out-of-town guests. We're lucky we don't. Most of the guests, well, all of the guests that are coming to our wedding, they live in New York City, so we don't have to really worry about that. Is the site insured in case of an accident? Very important to know. Some places aren't insured. You have to get that through the caterer, and some places you have to sign up separate. Like even outside of the caterer, you need to have a wedding like insurance deal thing. And then the last question is, are additional permits required for things like heat lamps, amplified music, and alcohol? And then it gives you like even a little space for notes right here. So normally what I do is I write them down on little like stickies, post-its, and then, you know, like in the moment you're writing out like chicken scratch, and then I'll go back and I'll write everything neatly in there. So those are the very important questions that you need to ask. Once you have settled down, take pictures when you go. Like make sure you are taking pictures of everything. Like even if it's a little dark corner, like make sure you take a picture of that dark corner. Because what if like you're thinking of putting like the DJ there, but then you see that it's, when you're taking pictures, that it's a lot darker than everything else. Like maybe, I don't know, up to you, whatever you want. Just make sure you take pictures of everything. When your recommendation is take lots of pictures, ask lots of questions, and once you are ready to sit down, think about, ask about deposits, because you will need to leave a deposit if you want to book the space, so that way they know like you're interested in this space for this date, and they won't let anyone else rent it out. So ask about that. Some places it's like 1/3 of the cost. Some places it's exactly half. Some places you have to give the whole thing up. So you want to make sure so that when you sit down and have the contract in front of you, they're going to ask you for the deposit. So you want to make sure you have that information available. So this is my I can't really show you guys. I don't want to reveal the place that we're going to, and also this has like all my signatures and stuff, but they're gonna give you a big packet. This isn't the whole contract that we had. This is only 3 pages because the copier messed up, so she only gave us the papers that we signed, and then she emailed me the whole thing that we did sign. So it's like a stack like this big, this big and you wanted to sit down. We sat down and I read every single line, every single sentence. Like this is something that you need to know inside and out, because every little thing that you do, if you don't do it according to the contract, will cost you money. So what I did was, as I was looking through it, I knew I was gonna get a copy, but I also just took pictures just so that I can have it in my phone, so if I need to look something up, it's in my phone. I'm not gonna carry a contract with me everywhere I go, you know. So you want to make sure you read everything. If anything makes you feel uncomfortable, you want to make sure that the person who you are talking to makes you feel comfortable about it. Have a really good feeling about it, you know. You're not just like, oh, I don't know what to do, like I don't really feel comfortable with this. Like make sure you feel comfortable too. It's gonna be a wedding day. You want to make sure you relieve some stress, not keep adding more to it. And I know this video is really long, but the last thing I want to talk to you about is I got my wedding planner from Erin Condren. So this is Mr. and Mrs. Gutierrez. That's gonna be us. And the green, we're using green and blush, but the green we're using is actually going to be a darker green. This is the darkest they had on the website, and this blush color is a little more intense than what we're thinking of. So the cover is kind of meh, but it's around the colors that we want to use. And I just really quickly wanted to show you guys like what it is. So when you get it, I still haven't decided if it's good or not, you know. Like I guess I'll just keep it for scrapbooking and stuff as well. So it just says a wedding planner, this is our life. And then depending on what month you started, I will start my next month. It goes for either 12 months or 18 months. You decide what you want to pay for. So the whole thing is just a calendar pretty much, and you just it comes blank, so you fill in. Mine, they did not put in this. You're supposed to get little dots, like date dots. They didn't give me that, so whatever, it doesn't really matter. I just wrote it in myself, as you can see here, so it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, you just go by it's just a whole bunch of months. There's no like weekly pages, sorry, it's just monthly. And then you have notes, and then in the back you just have a lot of note pages. I'll show you. It's just like a shit ton of note pages, but they also have like nice checklists, which I like because I'm a very big like checklist person. So first they have like just like 10 wedding tips, And if you go onto my blog, I literally have pictures of everything, so you can sit down and read these things. Then it has 14 to 9 months before, and then they have 8 to 6 months before, and then it goes down and goes down and goes down until like the day of. And then it has a place for you to put in your bridesmaids information, like their dress sizes and address and all that, and then the groomsmen. And then just a whole bunch of like checklists, which I really like. It has a place for you to put your guest list. I actually have a little notebook that I've been writing everyone's information down, so I don't really know if I need these. But then it has all the budget checklists, so it's like reception, attire, flowers and decorations, music, photographs, gifts, ceremony again. Oh, I didn't have the ceremony, stationery, wedding rings, transportation, all of that. Then it has a picture shot list, which I really like, because once we figure out who our photographer and videographer are going to be, we're going to need to sit down and like go over that with them. And then they have little stickers for you to use. I actually also bought a sticker sheet, and I put my bridesmaids and maid of honors on there. And I also put like small things, so I put like bachelorette party, bachelor party, bridal shower. I just put a picture of a dress, and a spa retreat, because I really want to take like the girls to a spa day. And then these are just like regular like little dot stickers. I didn't really know what to put there, but thinking about it now, I should have put a picture of me and my fiance. And then in the back, it has a clear little like envelope, which I really like, so you can put business cards, and then it just comes with a whole bunch of like little goodies that you can put on, like little clips that they give you, and then you can stick it in your planner. So it's really nice. I just don't really think you need this, you know, like it's a wedding planner, yeah, but you don't need it. Like I already have a daily planner, which I should have just actually stuck to, because that's what I'm going to be using to look at all my appointments anyways. So this was kind of an extra splurge that I really didn't need, but now that I have it, I'm going to make the most of it. So just think about that. And yes, so that is all my advice, tips and tricks. Hope this helped any one of you guys out. And as I keep going forward, I will tell you guys more information and all about like my journey. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in my next video.